Hey everyone, welcome to the XRP market analysis for May 12th, 2026. You know what I've noticed? XRP has been showing some really interesting signals lately, so let's dive right in and see what's happening. Oh, before we start, this video is based on an AI-generated report, so please use it as reference only, and remember, investing is always your own responsibility. I'm just someone looking at AI data, not a financial expert. All right. Let's start with where we are right now. XRP is trading at $1.4798 with a nice plus 1.29% gain over the last 24 hours. Now this is interesting. We're seeing positive momentum, and here's the thing. Ripple just secured a $200 million credit facility from Neuberger Berman to expand their institutional services. That's pretty significant news. The price is actually trading above the upper Bollinger Band at $1.4672, which shows some serious bullish pressure right now. Let's talk technicals for a moment. The RSI is sitting at 64.30, so we're getting close to overbought territory, but not quite there yet. The MACD is looking pretty good at 0.0130, staying above the signal line with a positive histogram of 0.0068. Here's what I find fascinating. We've broken above that upper Bollinger Band, and the short-term moving averages are all lined up nicely. Though, we're still about 15% below the 200-day line at $1.7488. So we're still in recovery mode from a longer-term perspective. Now the global situation is, well, it's a bit concerning. We're seeing the Iran war continuing into its fourth month, and Goldman Sachs is saying the US economy might be reaching its limits with these war shocks. There's also this whole trade policy uncertainty with Trump's 10% global tariff situation. But here's the thing. XRP is showing negative correlation with the dollar and VIX, which actually makes it behave more like a risk-on asset right now. On the regulatory front, we've got some mixed signals. The U.S. Senate Banking Committee has this Clarity Act vote coming up, and Stand with Crypto is representing 2.9 million advocates. That's huge. But in Korea, stablecoin regulation is facing delays, and honestly, only 0.3% of funds from closed Korean crypto firms have been returned to customers. That's pretty worrying for investor confidence. Market sentiment is sitting right in the middle at 49 on the Fear and Greed Index. Not too greedy, not too fearful. But wait, here's where it gets exciting. XRP ETFs are seeing positive inflows across the board. We're talking $17.9 million, $16.5 million, and $15.4 million in different funds. That's sustained institutional interest, and it looks like Korean markets are really driving some of these gains. The whale activity is, wow, it's pretty impressive. We saw 342 whale transactions moving over 634 billion XRP. That's significant institutional participation right there. With Ripple's new $200 million credit facility, it looks like the big players are positioning themselves for something. The network is showing high liquidity and active trading, which is always a good sign. From a wave analysis perspective, we're currently in what's called an Elliott Wave C phase. That's the final correction stage. The Wyckoff analysis suggests we're in a distribution phase, though it's only 46% confident about that. Here's the key thing. When this C-wave correction completes, we could see a transition to a new upward wave. The break above the Bollinger Band might actually signal that correction is ending. Now for the fun part, the AI predictions. So the ensemble model is predicting some really interesting moves. Short term in 1 day, $1.8138. Medium term in 7 days, $1.8913. And long term in 30 days, $1.9951. The probabilities are 55% short term, 65.3% medium term, and 61.6% long term. That medium term confidence of 65.3%, that's the highest, and it's likely reflecting Ripple's institutional expansion and those sustained ETF inflows we talked about. But let's be realistic about the risks here. The ongoing Iran war is creating global instability, and we could see a shift to risk-off sentiment. There's regulatory uncertainty in both Korea and the US. Technically, that RSI at 64.30 is approaching overbought levels, so we might see some correction pressure. And, well, that Wyckoff distribution phase could mean selling pressure relative to recent peaks. Plus, the trade policy uncertainty isn't helping anyone right now. Here's my overall take based on this AI analysis. Gradual accumulation. The fundamentals look solid with Ripple's $200 million credit facility and those sustained ETF inflows totaling over $60 million. For specific strategy, consider a first entry around $1.42 to $1.45, with a second entry opportunity at $1.38 to $1.40 if we see a dip. I'd set a stop loss at $1.32, with targets at $1.85 for the first take profit and $1.95 for the second. Given the current technical setup, a gradual approach makes more sense than aggressive buying right now. And that's it for today's analysis. If this was helpful, please subscribe and hit that like button. Remember, this is just AI data analysis, so always do your own research. See you next time.